Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Board Game Heaven Talks Accessories. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'll be taking a look at the e-Raptor insert for Cthulhu Death May Die by Come Games. This is a wooden insert that you can snap together. It will fit in the core box and hold all of its components. So I'll show you how to put that together, how it all fits inside, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So the Cthulhu Death May Die insert from e-Raptor comes in this box, and it's quite heavy. So there's a lot of sheets in there. It's a big box game, so yeah. Let's open it up. It doesn't require glue. And let's just see. It opens in the front. And first you see a leaflet with instructions. So they're all numbered, and usually you put them together in the numbered order. So that should be easy enough. And there's numbers here, there's numbers here. And they do have some pictures with arrangements on their website, which you can check. And more here. And that's it, so 3 pages. Okay. And it always comes in this big Ziploc bag. And it's two bags actually. So yeah, this is already like 5 sheets. Let's open that up. All right, that's the first 5. And they should be labeled. Let's see, yeah, so, oh, other way around. So it tells you here, Cthulhu Death May Die, 5 of 10. And it also has engravings on the floors, so you can see what goes where. So that's pretty convenient. These plastic ones are the acrylic lids, and they have a foil, a protective foil on them, which is the white that you see here, but you can peel that off, and from the back as well, and then you have a fully transparent lid. This one already comes loose. So yeah, so there's those, some extra sheets there, and there we go. That's all of them, so 10 sheets. It's quite a lot. So let's see how to assemble this. Let's put this pizza box aside. And now I'm hungry for pizza. Right. I think what I usually do is I just punch them all out and I arrange them in numerical order. That should usually be the easiest way to put it together. I am looking for the instructions with the bottoms so I can see what goes where, but doesn't really seem to explain that, which is odd. Usually you go, oh, this is them. All right, so yeah, so you see these are the bottoms. This is A, so that's B and C, etc. So the alphabetical ones are the bottoms, and they have the numbers on. So these are basically the instructions you get, and it looks very basic, but it is also very easy. So I'll punch out this one first, which has the numbers 1 through 10, and then, you know, the next one is 11 through 21, I think. And then over here we have 22 through 26, etc. So you get how that works. It's really simple. You just click them in order. So let me just unpunch some of those and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so this is the first tray that I'm gonna assemble. I just put the floor down as it is indicated here. And most of these just came from the first sheet as well, and some came from the second sheet. So it kind of just follows in a logical order. Sometimes you may have to look, because this one here, that's 51, so I'm gonna need that one later. But I've ordered everything, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's just get started. We'll take the numbers 1, and you have to put them in here. So the thing is, of course, you can put them in this way or this way, and I don't know exactly how yet. So I'm just gonna put them on here. I'm not gonna click them all the way through. Just do it like that for now and just see where that will take me. And then this is numbers 2, so those go here. And I suspect these go this direction, which leads me to believe that I need to turn these around, because that would make sense if these slot over this, as you can see, like that, and something else which will sit in the outer edge will slot over that. So yeah, that's probably how it's supposed to go. So you know, you never, even without instructions, you never really get stuck. I do prefer the 3D images of where everything goes. Some of the inserts by e-Raptor do have that, but and this is a pretty big insert, so I don't know why they didn't do it. Maybe it was too much work, but there really isn't any way you can do this wrong. So that's 1 and 2. So now number 3 goes here, so that's this one, and that is asymmetrical, so that can only be placed like this. That's good. Then we have numbers 4, that's these two, and they are the same, and they sit over 3, I guess, although, let's see, yeah, there's only one way this can go, but, oh, they sit in front, okay. That goes in here, so these overlap. Okay, sometimes you need to just wiggle them around a bit. See, yeah, much easier. All right, number 5, that's 2 small ones, and they sit into those 2 small holes over there. So one side has this little peg, so that goes in the bottom, and this will sit over number 4, closing this gap, like so. So you just slide that in. That's pretty easy. Then number 6 is a big one with a clippy here, so that goes in the bottom, and this will slide over these like so. You can just pick that up and click that in, and yeah, sometimes smaller parts will get flipped out if you click stuff in, but it's easy enough to just put them back. All right. So then we get number 7, which is this one. That goes here. I'm just gonna loosely, carefully, I'm just gonna hold my hand on top here so nothing falls out. Then 8 sits in front of that. That looks to be symmetrical, so it doesn't really matter which way around. So that means there are spots here for square cards or something in there. And then we have number 9, which goes in front of that. A lot of narrow little card slots, but okay. And it looks like this will hold a acrylic cover, so that's pretty nice. And then we have finally numbers 10, and yeah, they have these slots which will hold the acrylic cover, so it's gonna slot into there, and this is the opening bit where you lift the lid, so that means that these slots go to the front. And you can do it any other way, again, with the slots in the floor being here. There's just no other way to do that. So now I have to wiggle these around a bit so that this will fit. And from the side you can see that all of these dividers here will be held in place by the side. So once you have them all in place, just click that in. This is in the correct position. Click, and there you go. And now this won't wiggle around anymore. So now I can do the other side. And that's an interesting looking tray. And there you go. So there's gonna be something in here and in here. I don't know what yet. And there are slots in the side, so I suspect the minis can be slot in here with their bases. And yeah, it says it has a number on the bottom, so 69, nice, and 62 over there, on there as well. So we'll have to figure out what goes there. So this is the first tray, and that's basically how you do it. It's very simple, and all of these follow the same rules. Just click them together, and I will just continue doing so until I've got them all, and then I'll show you how to put it all inside the game box and where everything goes. Unless I find something along the way that is a bit complex, I'll show you that as well, but otherwise I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so in the second tray I made was this one over here with the numbers 11 through 21. It all was quite simple. You just follow the numbers just like every time. Only that the numbers 21 are the both over the sides, which are these, but they're different. So you do need to pay attention which one goes where. But you can tell by the number of slots here. This has 4 slots, which means these 3 plus this. So that goes here in this direction, because once again, the nub here is where you close the lid, and the catch here is where it is pushed in basically. So the lid goes in from this side, and that means it needs to catch there. And this is for this card holder here. So again, there's no other way to do it. But since these are both numbered to 21 and they are technically not the same, they should have actually had a different number. I thought I'd just point that out. And there, that goes in there, and that's it really. So this goes in here. And I love how these work, how you put these together. It's just super clever design. And you don't need any glue, you just snap them together, and there's slots for everything. So these are bigger slots, so I guess big models go in here, and you slot the bases in there, I guess, and then some cards here. And yeah, so that's the second tray done. Let's move on. Here is another one that is a little bit tricky. It's this one on the drawing over here. And it's a little bit tricky because you need to pay attention to how you put this on. I put it up like this first, and I couldn't snap it together. Why? Because one simple reason: this nub here would sit over this hole just a little bit. So what you need to do is flip this over and make sure that this nub is on the other side of the slot in the bottom, and they just lie on top of each other like this, just very simple. Then you take these acrylic parts, and those sit in here, and they kind of connect the two. They have long nubs here in the bottom that just slide through both sheets of wood, like so. And then you have these which sit at the sides, here and here. And then there's the head and the back of that tray, because this one has a lid as well. And they both have a slot here. So that will sit over this, over all of that. And as you can see, here is an indentation for that nub. And it wouldn't work the other way around. So that's the only thing you need to pay attention to when putting the bottom with the circles on top of the other bottom. And then you can just click it in, and that will work great. And same on this side. So you can just click that in, and it will hold everything together. And that looks so cool. This is so cool. So now you have, again, a back with a slot and a front with a little nub for the lid to sit on, which means that the sides go this way in this direction, once again with the slot here. You'll find that several times, and this will sit over that nice and tightly. So yeah, there you go. Click, click. So just to put the lid on, and then you're done. It's just really cool. It's just really well designed. This one was also pretty awesome to put together. I mean, it's like this odd shape, and it just all snaps together. Yeah, and here for miniatures, with an acrylic side. I was looking for this one in wood first, but then I realized, oh, it's an acrylic one. And all of that just snaps together. And all of these cross supports are just little small bits. And this is one big side, so you slide miniatures in here, and it also has a lid. It's pretty impressive. All right, back in a sec. Here's another one that gave me a little bit of trouble, and that's this one. Now, the error here is that this is printed correctly, but the numbers are wrong. See, this says 56 twice here and 57 here. And I did that. This is 57. So I put that one here and the two smaller ones here. And obviously I was putting the first of these in. And I thought, this isn't right. There's something wrong here. Because I was putting them on in the other direction, because the big slot needs to be where these little ones are. So they were here. So these slots didn't match up at all. So I turned it around a couple of times and I tried a couple of things, and in the end I discovered that simply the 57 here and the 56, well, one of them have been swapped around. So these two along these little slots, that's 56, and that's these two smaller ones, and 57 is supposed to be here. So keep that in mind if you're building this and you run into trouble. This is how you do it. These little slots are flanked by these smaller ones, and the big one go here. And you can also turn them around like this, so they need to line up with one side, and on the other side you'll have some space left. And I also discovered, so I put this together according to the numbers. So, you know, what made sense with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I thought, hey, 6 is the end, and that's gonna sit here. But it's not, because this should have a notch, and it doesn't. So 6 actually sits here. That means I have to turn these around. And this does have a slot here to sit over this. That goes there. So fortunately, these can be taken apart, which means I have to undo these, which is not too bad, really. And this one as well. Just push that from the bottom, it's usually easier. There we go. And now I have to rearrange these. So be warned, the numbers don't really, well, so basically these got mixed around, and the, let's see, what's that? So the 60, 58, 61, 59, and 62, they got switched around as well. I guess somewhere they changed the design and forgot about the numbers. So I'm hoping this will all fit. And these are all the same, which means this one and this one. This is 2, then, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's 4. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Oof. Yeah, that should work. Yep, because there's a long slot here, a clip here, a long slot, a clip, and a long slot. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter, because the 2 and the 4 have a clip. So thank God for that. Otherwise, that would be annoying to have the numbers not match up. But it works. This one needs a numbering fix on the sheet, but otherwise it does work. And that looks great. This goes here. All right, there you go. Phew. Okay, so I finished putting everything together and putting all the components in their own trays. And I have to say, this is pretty impressive. Let me just show you how everything fits in the box. So here's the empty box. I put this sheet from where to put the minis in the original plastic inserts just to the side here. You don't need it, but I like to keep it. I always keep the plastic covers of the sleeves that I use. So I have the Paladin, Gawain, and Boar's sleeves for the big and the smaller cards, so that I know which cards I use should I ever need more. And then you put in the inserts, the parts. So this is the first tray, which had spots for all of the monsters, and it has numbers on the bottom. So here you can see 18, which corresponds with the 18 on the bottom of this monster, meaning that this goes here. Oh, I have to turn it a bit. And here the same thing. This monster has a 31 over there, as you can see, and this is monster number 31. So you just slide the base in like so. Now this one was a little bit tight. It just touches the edge here. So that's a little bit unfortunate. So if you paint this, the top of it might chip a bit. So that's a little bit unfortunate, just its top ridge there. But otherwise, these all fit in really nicely. Just have to be a bit careful. So this number 9 is over here, and there's 2 of them that go on top of each other. And here is a spot for the Arkham Sanitarium, the conditions, the cards that go here. It also says so inside. It says Insanity. So that goes here. Nope. I just need to put that in correctly. So you have big holes here so you can take them out easily. Same here with these monsters. Number 36 is printed on the side there. And these star vampires or whatever. 33, they go here. So those go on top of each other pretty nicely. This is an interesting insert. So I put that in the corner like so. Now you have got this box, which has a lid. So these lids just pop on like that. And again, you slide in all the monsters. And I really appreciate that they made this side out of clear material as well, plexiglass. So you can actually see what's inside, not just from this side, because that would get pretty dark, but also from the top or from the side technically. And there's 5 of these monsters, so I've put 4 of the same ones here, 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 and here, and the remaining 5th one I put together here, so you don't have to, you take these first, and then if you need extras, you can take that one. All the heroes go here. Now this works really well, because you can store it like this. The only down part is, of course, if you paint them, you might scratch the bases. So it's important to coat them with a clear varnish after painting that will protect them. Still, be careful with it. And it's also a little bit difficult to get at one type of monster, because you've got monsters to the sides and you have to reach in. The first one and the second one even is easy, but once you need to get the third one, I mean, I've got big hands. I need to reach in there and I'll be touching these and these. So I at least need to take out another row of monsters to be able to get a particular monster in the back. But yeah, so those go here in the corner. So then we have this Cthulhu miniature, and that one is Star Spawn, I believe. They also have numbers, and those numbers are printed on where the bases sit. Again, with a cover that comes off very easily, but it's pretty clear that these go here. It's the only spots they'll fit. And it also has a convenient holder for these cards and for the Mythos cards. No, this is actually, yeah, these are Mythos cards. There you go. Yep, that belong with them. You put them sideways. There's a big enough hole so you can easily grab them. And those go in there. And then you turn this so that fits here. Okay, so yeah, just slide around a bit. All right, next we got this tray. And this has engravings in the bottom which says S1E2, this says S1E1, which means, of course, Season 1, Episode 1, Episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the tokens related to those episodes go in here. and they can be placed on the bottom. This doesn't have a lid, but as you can see, there are a lot of little notches here, and those are meant to hold another tray on top. So you put this one on the bottom like so, and you take this big one, this big tray that I put together, that I showed you, which has all the seasons. So these are the big season cards that go in here, all of them, and they fit in sleeved very easily, very nicely. And each season has its own mythos cards. And this is episode 1 through 6. And the ones that I showed you here, I think this is Crawling Chaos, that's 8. So let me just put that back. And this, the other one is over here, that's 7. So that's how you divide those cards. So all the cards go in here. Now, this, I'll hold these, has all of these clips on the bottom and these ridges on the bottom. And that's what these indentations are for. And it doesn't matter which way around you put it in. They've doubled those indentations, so you can put them here or here. And these long ridges here. So I can put it either this way or that way. It doesn't matter. It will always fit on top of that token tray. Let me just show you that a little better. See, so I can put it on this way, and that will sit in here, and quite tightly actually, really nice. So all of these tokens will stay in no matter how you put your box on your shelf. You can put it sideways, vertically, and these tokens will stay in their spot. And again, if I turn this around, that will fit as well. I'll just shake these tokens around a bit. There you go. So I think that is brilliantly designed. Absolutely hats off to the designer of this insert, because this is brilliant. This just fits nicely. Just wiggle it around a bit until you feel it fall into place, and that's that. All right, next tray is this one with the king in yellow. Here you go. And that expansion, or basically it's not an expansion, it comes in the box. It's this one, Haster. This comes with its own acolytes there, these disciples, and they have a spot for those as well. So that's really well done as well. So those fit in here, and again with a lid and with space for Haster's cards here in the back, and these cards, these mythos cards, which say season 1 7 in here, and that just goes next to Cthulhu in here. So now most of it is already filled in. So then we have this awesome looking tray. This is just a little tray with the transparent dividers for all of these tokens, these tentacles in all these colors, which looks really nice, with a lid so they don't fall out, which is great. And that just sits on top of this. It fits inside, basically, just completely fits inside of this. And make sure to put it in with the lid opening pointing inwards and the back of this lid on the edge, because you'll be putting tiles on top of this. And if you put this in the middle, you'll have a little bit of a wobbly tile there. So this is the preferred way. Then we have this tray, and I really like that one. This is basically your token tray. Oops, some of them, this is a bit static, so it sticks. But so you have this for all of these abilities, and it's completely filled, and you'll think, well, this is so tight in here. Well, it's not that tight, but they made, you know, the grabbing hole here for your fingers all the way to the bottom. And this is clever. I've never seen this done before. This divider sits into the bottom in this slot, and they made it deep enough so this is actually flush. Now that's well done. Again, good, clever design. So all of these tokens just fit in here perfectly. This is a slot for all of these tokens, for the stairs, the portals, starting space. It says so on the bottom. So that's really well done as well. So the tunnel, the staircase, starting space, and the gates. So this is the starting tile. You have your stairs and your tunnels here. Just put those in the corner, and these gates. So yeah, just put them in, And this I really liked. You have these Relia tiles, these crawling terror, crawling chaos tiles, and your wounds and your triple wounds. And you can see an indentation here, which is made for this token that sits in here really nicely. And then on top of it all, you just put the lid, click, and there you go. Everything is in place. The clips go here, fire tokens go there, and that just simply goes on top of all of this. So there you go. That's almost everything. We also have a little dice tray, which is just a very handy little tray. And that sits on top of this guy here in the corner very nicely. So all we need to do now is put in the tiles. Now, unfortunately, you still need to kind of puzzle them in, which basically was the same thing with the original insert. Actually, it didn't even fit anymore in the original insert. It lifted the lid a bit. Because, you know, after you punch all those punch boards and all those tokens, you put them in baggies and you have nowhere to put them. So you just kind of end up squishing him with these boxes, which wasn't ideal, and you have to search for them. These cards, the season cards, go on top of this tray. So they go against this ridge and they are held in place by these ridges like that. I mean, they slide out, but that just goes on top there. And then it's a matter of a little bit of puzzling, but I'm very impressed with this. So yeah, then you just take, you know, whatever tiles you have. I like to put this one on top of this, in between the walls basically. And then I like to put this one on top here because this sticks out, so it doesn't, you know, fits here. And then just take a couple of these bigger ones, put them on here. But this is still a bit higher, so I can actually put several of those there. And there's a single one as well. I'll put that one here. And then I put these on top, and then it doesn't wobble anymore. So that's good. Put those there. Then I'll put this one here, and a smaller one on top of that. And let's see, what else do we have? There's another small one here. So this is now also on the same level, which means I can put a taller one there. I can put this one on top of all of this. And then we've got 4 of these left, which I will simply put 1, 2, 3, like so. This is a little bit higher, so I'll just put this one underneath, and this one here, like so. That fills out nicely. And then I'm only left with this big one, with this sheet. And then the character sheets, I'll just divide them into 2 stacks. That's what I did with the original box as well, the original insert. Like so. Rule book, and that's that. Then you take the lid, and that goes on top of all of that. Let's see, box fart, if all of that is flush. There you go. And oh, this is such a heavy box. It is nearly flush. Nearly flush. As you can see, I can push it a bit. It's about 4 millimeters that it's lifted, and if I push it all the way down, there's still a bit here. So it's raised about 2 millimeters, which is basically because of the tiles. But that is impressive. That is very impressive. You don't have to fiddle around with these boxes anymore and with those awkward inserts. I mean, they hold the minis nicely, but where do you stick the cards? I was sticking the cards underneath here, and it's just such a hassle. So I'm really happy with this one. So let's go to my final thoughts. So my final thoughts on the e-Raptor insert for Cthulhu Death May Die. Well, as you may have already noticed, I'm quite impressed with this insert. The design is really good. They made inserts, you know, for everything, not just that, but they made it in a way that it's easy to find everything. They have the generic monsters together. They have the smaller monsters and the cultists together in this tree with an acrylic lid and an acrylic side, so you can see exactly which monsters are inside, which ones you need. All the heroes are here. There's some extra room. I had this one promo hero from the Kickstarter that fits in. There's even one more space left. And that just works really nicely. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the slots where you slot in the bases. I mean, it works really nicely. It does the job, but if you paint them, well, the miniatures themselves are perfectly safe. That much I'll say. It's just you could, you know, scratch or scuff the paint on the bases. So if you're painting these, make sure to put enough varnish on the bases to protect them well, and, you know, keep the bases simple. Some people actually rebase them on acrylic discs, and then you won't have that problem anymore. So for those people, that's actually quite perfect. They have, you know, you've got your two boxes, basically these two smaller boxes that come in the box, in their separate trays here, with their cards, with their mythos cards. This one even has its own followers, and that'll just fit in here and here. Cthulhu and this other creature with their cards together as well, and it just fits. And all the cards are together in one big tray from all the seasons with their mythos cards, neatly arranged and organized, easy to get in and easy to take out. Sleeved, even it fits everything sleeved, and these are premium paladin sleeves like I showed you, and that fits perfectly, and all of these cards fit nicely on top of all that. There's a spot for everything, and I just can't get over this tray with the tokens from the 6 seasons that you need to keep apart because they belong to each season separately, and you put that on the bottom with this tray on top, and that will close it off so the tokens won't go anywhere. That's just really well done. So yeah, I mean, this looks great with the tentacle tokens in the different colors in this acrylic lid, and all of these tokens that go in here with even a spot for the circular token. I mean, they thought of everything. They thought of everything, and it fits so nicely. Even the dice have their own tray. So it was quite a challenge, I must imagine, to put everything from this game into a good, you know, functional insert, which has everything organized. You can pass stuff around if you need to. You can just pass this around, put everything on the table. Every component has its own space. It's logically organized. What can I say? This is extremely well done. So 2 big thumbs up or tentacles up for e-Raptor for designing this insert, and I want to thank them for sending this over to review. I'm extremely happy with this. I loved to build it, and I really loved reviewing it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Please also consider becoming a Patreon saint to my channel by clicking the link in the description below or the Patreon logo at the end of this video. That will take you to my Patreon page where you can read how to support my channel, which is greatly appreciated, keeps me going, and you'll get your name in the credits of all of my videos and also access to some Patreon exclusive videos that I made. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.